So, guys, let's continue with the next part. New topic in the world of, or I can say the right word would be in the ecosystem of big data, right? So, multiple different tool, guys, we have discussed till date. Every tool has some particular use cases. Okay, so we know about Hadoop, we know about Hive, we know about Spark also now. Uh, so let's discuss one more new tool in this world, or I can say in the ecosystem of big data. Okay, ecosystem means again it is a world of big data. So any kind of big data problems if you have, and if you want to solve the big data problem, uh, so Hadoop you can use, Spark you can use, and Hive we can use. So plan for today is to talk about the new tool that solves something in the big data world. So the tool that we are going to start today, and the tool that we are going to discuss today, is called Scoop. Okay, it's a tool name, like we have a Hive, something like this. Not exactly, obviously it's a different tool, but again, Scoop is one tool, is one software that will do something for us. Okay, so what it will do, that's what we will discuss, right? And then we will move to the topic, that how can we implement the Scoop. So let's continue. So what's the plan? So if you try to understand as a company perspective or as an industry perspective, so in the industry, guys, they have a lot of data. Okay, let's say they have a employee data, they have CRM, they have the sales data. So a lot of different kind of data they have. And mostly this kind of data, HR, employees, CRM, sales. So these data they store, obviously they store, but mostly they store in tools called RDBMS. Okay, means they store either in Oracle. Is a company, they have a software for databases that's called RDBMS, or maybe they use MySQL, or maybe something like this they use. Okay, so this is a very common thing in the industry. They store these kind of data, employees, sales, their product information, and mainly the sales part, finance part, accounting part, they store in RDBMS. There are a lot of reason why they store in RDBMS. One of the big reason one of the big reason is the transaction support. So again, this is the different topic. I don't want to discuss further, but anybody who know about a concept called ACID, okay, so they have consistency and other thing. So there are multiple reasons why they store there. So there's a different thing to discuss. Right now we are not discussing this point, but what I want to discuss there, let's say in the company, let's focus more on MySQL is one product for database or database server, also known as relational database management system, RDBMS, and they store their, let's say, the employee information in MySQL. Okay, now why they store in MySQL? Multiple reasons behind this. Okay, so there's one point, but let's say they have their internal analytics team or analysis team or analysis teams, or the guy who analyze some data. So what company want? They say we have some analysis guys, I can say, they want to analyze on the data. So maybe my data maybe come from log. Okay, maybe my data come from real time streaming. Okay, so there were multiple sources where data can come from, the real-time streaming log, or maybe my data might come from MySQL database. So in this case, what company do, they create some centralized storage that is also known as data lake. Okay, and what they do, first they dump the entire data from real-time streaming, from log, from other things, or maybe from MySQL also they store here. So we have some centralized storage that is known as data lake, and how to get the data lake with the help of distributed storage, and what kind of product you can use in the distributed storage. So you can use HDFS. Okay, that you guys know. Okay, so what's the plan? That's this concept you know, guys, already. So what exactly we looking for? So we're looking for, okay, that we have some data in my database server, let's say in MySQL. So how can you take the data from MySQL and store this data in your data lake? In our case is Hadoop HDFS. Okay, so that concept, guys, is known as export. So how can you get the data from database and share, save into HDFS, export, or maybe vice versa also. Maybe we have some data in HDFS and we have some requirement, and I want to store some of the data from HDFS from some of the file into MySQL. That's called import. So for the MySQL perspective, how can you store here, and how we can get from here? How can you send or get? You can think in this way. Okay. This concept is called export and import. So how can we do export, import, okay, from your database, okay, to Hadoop, and from Hadoop to database? That's called export and import. So for this, we have some specialized tool available in the market, and the tool that we are going to discuss today is called Sqoop. That's all. So Sqoop is a tool that has a capability to do export and import for us. Okay. That is the guys use of the Sqoop. One more thing is Sqoop can do for you. Maybe I have a huge data, maybe let's say 10 terabyte. So what I want out of the 10 terabyte, I want to analyze something. Okay, and maybe we have a requirement. Let's say we have billions of user, guys, in Linux, and any of the user who have bash shell, just for example. So I want to filter out all the bash, and this result I want to store in MySQL. So my company internal databases team, that's called DBA guys, go to MySQL and read the data from there. Maybe this might be requirement. Okay, so for this, how can you analyze or filter this out of 10 terabyte data, or some of the users who have bash shell, or maybe some other requirement? Maybe here, guys, you can use the help of MapReduce cluster of the Hadoop. Okay, so interesting thing is in the Sqoop we have an option. Sqoop will contact to your MapReduce cluster and say, first just do something on it, do mapper and reducer, and what are the result of this mapper and reducer gonna come up. Store this information. Till now you are storing this information in Hadoop HDFS. I don't want this. I want this information just so go and store in my SQL database. So this also can be done with the help of a Sqoop. Okay, so if you want to send the result as it is, as it is, from the MySQL to Hadoop or Hadoop to MySQL, you can do it, or you can do some kind of analysis, filtering, MapReduce part, and after whatever output gonna come up, that result you will store in your MySQL, or maybe in the Hadoop also. Okay, so all those capabilities Sqoop has. Again, famous tool, but if you have this, if you have this kind of requirement, in the companies or some kind of projects or some kind of use case, then Sqoop would be the one that gonna help you. So that's why it's pretty simple tool. If you talk about the information perspective, so let's say how can we set up the Sqoop. It takes some time to set up, because why, I will explain you in a minute why it takes some time to set up. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to set up this tool in the AWS cloud because a lot of things we have to set up. So I require some RAM and CPU. Okay, so let me log in to my AWS cloud. Just give me 1 minute and stop sharing my screen. So give me 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Okay. So let's do the setup on the cloud. So I'm going to launch one instance. Again, the new fresh instance. Or maybe I can use the same instance that I had already. So let's proceed with the same instances. Okay. So this instance I have right now, and let me pick the IP address. Go to command line, SSH, downloads, SSH-st 2021, username CentOS in this OS. Okay. I don't know this OS is working or not. They have some error coming up, and why this error they have. Instance reachability check fail. I don't know why this failed. I haven't done anything in this instance. So it's not working. So let's don't waste the time. So let's create a new one. Okay, and again I'm using CentOS version 7. Okay, so this concept, this part you know very quickly. So I'm giving 2 GB RAM for CPU, or let me go for 8 GB. Why, you come to know, because a lot of setup I am going to do here that might require some extra RAM. So let me go for 8 GB RAM. Okay. So otherwise everything is same. This is scoop. Okay. And nothing about firewall, or maybe let me allow all traffic we might require anywhere, launch, and that's all. Okay. So now what exactly we are going to do, right? Setting up the scoop won't be a big challenge. Okay. But challenge, guys, here is you understood Scoop is an intermediate tool, help in exporting and importing the data from here and there. So we have a database and we have a Hadoop. In Hadoop, we have two things. We have HDFS, we have MapReduce. Okay. So what Scoop will do, whatever we ask the Scoop to do. So we might ask the Scoop do one thing, just go and contact to database, let's say MySQL database. Okay, get the data and store in HDFS. Or maybe we ask the Scoop that we have some data in HDFS. Okay, so get the data, do some processing with the help of MapReduce, and what output gonna come up, store in MySQL. So whatever the case would be, but in this case, if you want to see this demo, setting up the Scoop is not a big deal. But if you want to see this demo, so that's what I'm trying to show you here. Otherwise, setting up the Scoop is a 2 lines of command. Okay, to show this demo, what I'm going to do, I'm setting up MySQL, and plus I'm setting up the entire Hadoop cluster. And all the setup I'm doing in one single computer. So that is one of the reason I put 8 GB RAM here. So I don't be out of the memory error gonna come up. Okay. So these are two setup we are going to do. And after we have these two setup, then we will move to Scoop part. Okay. So very quickly, let's do this. Technically, you know how to set up Hadoop, but maybe this is a small new thing for you. Right now, you're going to see how we can set up the Hadoop, okay, in single computer. The entire cluster we are going to do in single computer. This is called single node cluster. Okay, and let me log in with my root account. Maybe I have to transfer some software from my local computer. So let me enable my root account so I can do remote login. Okay. So permit root login, yes, plus empty password. So yes, plus I'm going to start my services of SSH and setting up the root password. Okay, that's all. So now I can log in from a local computer. So first step, what exactly I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how can we set up the MySQL server. Okay, so let me do this part very quickly. Okay, and obviously there will be a lot of steps gonna come up. So let me create one document for you. So 1 minute. So first plan is to create a database server here and put some data. So for this, I'm setting a MySQL. So how to set a MySQL? Again, we can install a software called MySQL server. Okay. By chance, MySQL software is not available in Red Hat version 7 or 8. There, the software name is MariaDB. MariaDB something server. Okay, so let me check the exact name. So it's MariaDB server. Okay, so let me install the software. MariaDB, it is again same flavor like MySQL. But if you're looking for the MySQL, you can go to internet and install the software. Okay, get the software. But technically, MariaDB is almost the same software like MySQL. Okay, so I have installed MariaDB software is a database. Okay, I'm sharing all these commands to you. After this, let me start my services. It's called Maria DB. Services started or starting, and uh, let me set up my. There's a command called secure installation. It will help us to set up the root password. So right now I don't have a root password here. So you set a root password. You want to set a yes or no. So, so I can log into my database. So I'm setting some root password here. Remove anonymous user. Maybe yes, nothing technical here. Disallow root login remotely means you should only log into local host. So I said no. Other guys from outside can also log into root account. And there's some test database. Do you want to remove? I say yes. So basic setup and reload privileges, yes. Okay. So technically, what I have done, I have set up MariaDB, where main thing is I set up the root account with the password. Some password I've set here. Okay. So let me log in. So server has been guys configured. So if you want to log into the server, so we have a command called MySQL. Inside command, I'm logging with a user called root with some password and password I'm posting here, and it will come to MariaDB. So technically, we have successfully configured MariaDB server or MySQL server and we have successfully logged into this guy. Okay, now what I'm planning to do, let me create some databases here. Let's say Linux World database. So let me show this database has been created. Yes, Linux World. Let me go inside this database. Okay, create some table to put some data. Let me get a table with the name of student, and I want to put the student ID. Okay, ID. This is the, let's say, integer data type with maximum length of 5. I want to put the name of the student, which may be character or string type. Let's say 255 character. I want to also put the remarks of the student. This is my column name, and remark may be varchar or char. Is again, like varchar is also one kind of data type. Again, they have 255 character. So tables has been created. Inside this table, if you see the total number of data we have in this table student, we have nothing. The table just we have created, so we don't have any data. But when insert some data, so there's a command insert into student table. Okay, and I want to insert in ID column, name column, and remarks columns. And what values I want to insert? I want to insert one, name maybe, let's say Vimal, remark maybe good or okay. That's all. So this data has been inserted. Let me show one more data. With ID we have 2, and name maybe yes, or remark maybe good. Okay, so that's all guys, some data we have inserted. You can think in the company we already have MySQL database server, and we already have some data in our database system or management system. Okay, now what's the plan? Plan is to get this data and export to Hadoop. And for this, we should have a Hadoop cluster. It will be anywhere in the world, but for just for testing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up Hadoop locally. How? So let me exit from here, and I don't have Hadoop here. Okay, so to first install Hadoop. Before Hadoop, we install Java. So let me transfer the software from a local computer to the system, and we know the IP address of this particular computer. Copy. My username is root, and I'm posting some password here. Okay. So in my computer, guys, I have some software. And this software, guys, I have already provided to you. So I have the Hadoop software that I'm uploading here. Okay. Plus, I also have a Java software. Java software. We need it. So both the software I'm posting here, so I can configure Hadoop cluster very quickly. Setting the Hadoop in single node won't be a big challenge. Okay, but the command wise, logic wise, they are single node or multi-node. The concept is exactly the same. So we don't have to worry much. Okay. By the meantime, they're uploading. I'm doing one more thing because my main plan is to install Scoop. Again, Scoop is a free software. So if I search for Scoop, download. So there's an official site. Again, it's come under the license of Apache. Okay, and you can find some link to download. Okay, so it's fully designed to transfer bulk between Hadoop and a structured database that's called maybe MySQL. And if you want to download the Scoop, there's some links they provide you. From here, we can download. Okay, so I'm downloading some of the Scoop software from here. So let's say maybe let's say I'm downloading this particular version of the software, or maybe this one. Okay, why this one? Most probably because I have Hadoop 2, so Hadoop 1 I am installing here. Let me also transfer JDK also. 1 minute. So where does I have JDK with me? Or I have in my downloads a software called JDK. One minute. So by the meantime, guys, I'll search for this one. So I'm downloading this particular version of Scoop. Okay. Why? Because the Hadoop that I'm going to install in version 1. So this software might look like they are compatible with version 1 that I am downloading in my local computer. By the meantime, I am uploading JDK because for Hadoop, we need JDK. So maybe this version of JDK, let me upload. Okay, and Scoop has also been downloaded. So let me upload Scoop also. So I'm uploading all the software, whatever I need. Okay, so let me install the Hadoop. By the meantime, JDK come up. Okay, so you can use force option to install it. So Hadoop has been installed, pretty simple. But they're looking for the Java. I don't have a Java right now. So Java has been uploading. So let me install the Java and then we do the next part. And Scoop also been installed. We'll download it. We'll install it. Pretty simple, nothing technical. Okay. But by the meantime, guys, they are uploading. I just want to tell you one more small thing, just for your knowledge. Okay. If you have any databases, for example, MySQL. Okay. And if you want to connect to your database with some language, let's say you have Java language, and from the Java, you write some code. Okay. And you want this code will contact to MySQL, and in the MySQL, they will go read the data, store the data, something like this they do. Okay. So understand one thing, guys, for the MySQL perspective, they are the server. Anybody come to MySQL, either we as a human being go to MySQL or we Java code go to MySQL. For the MySQL, everybody is a client. Okay, so if you want to connect to MySQL, you should know SQL language. This command that we have run right now. Need these commands. These are the known as SQL commands. Okay, similarly, if you want Java, code will go to MySQL and do some read and write and insert. Okay, so again, Java also client and Java should also know SQL. And technically Java doesn't know the SQL. That is a reason what we have to do. We have to train our Java language or maybe Python language so that they understand how SQL language work. So they can contact to MySQL. And that is a reason, guys, for these languages to train these guys, we have to provide a drivers. Okay, driver for MySQL. MySQL is different database, Oracle is different database. So we have to provide a driver to the Java and say, now use this driver. This driver help you to tell how MySQL work. So by your code, if you go to MySQL, you can know how to communicate with this guy. Okay. So guys, this concept in the Java world is known as, and this kind of driver is known as JDBC driver. Okay, this is called Java Database Connector driver. So if you have Java code with you, you have MySQL database with you, but if you want Java code, will contact to MySQL, do something there. It won't possible. You have to first provide driver. Driver is like one kind of program or one kind of library. Okay, and these library known as JDBC drivers that you have to provide to Java. And now depend which database Java want to communicate to MySQL. They have a different driver. For Oracle, they have a different JDBC driver. Okay. So why I'm explaining this Java here? Because Scoop is a tool that is built with the help of Java. So if you want, Scoop will go and connect to MySQL. So you have to provide JDBC MySQL driver to the Scoop. Otherwise, Scoop won't have a capability to contact to MySQL. Okay, that is then I wanted to explain this concept. Okay, so for this, so this is uploaded, and let me upload one more software. This one. Sorry. So does this work here? What I'm trying to do? One more place. Uh, so Scoop, I'm transferring. I don't know if does this drag and drop work here or not. Maybe no. Let's see. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to search for. Let's hang up. So it doesn't matter, guys. We can also copy this URL. Okay, and I can directly download in my computer. Wget command I don't have. You guys know how to install wget. Okay, so this scope has been okay. So we have all the software. How to install this we will discuss in a minute. But by the meantime, let me search for MariaDB JDBC driver download. Why MariaDB? Because in my case, I installed MariaDB database right now, not MySQL. So it will take you to MariaDB site, and they provide a connector that's called JDBC connector that will tell the Java, okay, tell the Java how to uh, connect to MySQL or MariaDB. Both the guys this Java support. Only challenge right now that I don't know over here is I don't know which version they support. Let me randomly download this, but you will try. If something is not working here, concept is same, step is same, but you will try to download other version to check the support, or maybe you can read the article that to check which version they support. Okay, in my case, let me check my version of Maria DB server. Okay, is 5.5. I don't know which version they support here. We can do hidden trial, and maybe I will check multiple versions over here. So we'll see. Okay, which version they might try. Maybe something related to 5.1 something if they have. Maybe this version might be. Okay, so let me do go for this one. Okay. And this is the connector that I'm looking for. And this is the not source code I'm looking for. I'm looking for jar file. That is my connector, my library. Okay. So this is not the concept only for Scoop. If you have this kind of use case, what happened over here? Let me go for other version. So I'm downloading this one, MySQL MariaDB Java client .jar, copy location, and let me download. Okay, so this jar file we have downloaded. I don't know this version will support or not. Technically, the step that I'm going to show you, it would be the same. Just hit and try with other version. Let's see. So this is the uh, concept I explained to you. Okay. Now let's see how we can install all these things. Very quickly, first, let me show you how to install the Scoop, because installing the Hadoop, I definitely try to install right now again, but let me first show you how to install the Scoop. Okay, so if you see guys, here we have a Scoop as software, it's a tar extension. Okay, so I'm going to extract this software the way we always do. Let me remove V, so it won't show you the output. So this software extracted, and let me rename this folder in a folder called Scoop. You can give any folder name. Okay, so that's all. So but we know right now where the Scoop has been extracted. We know the folder. So what I'm going to do, I'll tell my computer that if you are looking for the Scoop home, so there's a folder you can go to look for the Scoop home. And let me export this particular variable over here. Okay, so there's a one thing you have to do. Again, the Scoop folder come up with their own commands in a bin folder. So I'm going to set up my path also the way we always do. So in bin folder, they have some command, and we have some more command that we already have. So two variable we have set here. And if you want to make it permanent, so copy this thing in, sorry, let me copy these two lines and paste in base arsenal. So this is the same concept we keep on repeating, but here we are setting up for the Scoop. Okay, so that's all. So Scoop has been installed. Nothing complex here to check. Scoop version working fine, but you can see guys the error. And error is very simple. They say I need Hadoop, but you don't have any Hadoop installed. So they fail. Okay, and how they come to know Hadoop installed or not? Because Hadoop has their own home directory. They're asking where the Hadoop installed. Can you tell me the location? So in my case, I haven't installed Hadoop, but let me trick. It might work. So I'm just faking it. Means I'm just trying to tell, yes, I have the Hadoop here. Let me export this. I don't have. Maybe some of the things might not work, but let me say, yes, I have Hadoop in this folder. I'm just giving randomly some folder name. Okay, again, I told you guys, they also need MapReduce. Okay, so again, I don't have MapReduce, but let me trick and say, yes, we also have MapReduce, let's say in a folder called etc. But normally we know, guys, we install the Hadoop in this folder. Let me give the folder name. I don't have Hadoop right now, but let me give the fake information here to see that it's work or not. So now, guys, it worked, and as some warning come up, okay, because this software needs some more extra tools for some purpose that we don't need right now. We don't need Jupyter or HBase, Catalog. So this is just a warning. Otherwise, this tool work. Only thing this tool need is Java, but I don't have a Java installed. So that is the only issue. So how to install Java, you guys know. So let me go here. Let me install the Java. Okay, and we have installed Java. So let me say Java home. Most of the tools need Java home. So we have Java installed here. Okay. And we also have some new command from the Java. And let me add the older commands also. Okay. And make it also this guy permanent. So same thing. We have done multiple times. Yes. Well, let me again try with scoop. Now it look very clear. So don't worry guys, what about with the warning, but there's no error come up. Even though if I try to see only the version of the scoop, they printed the version with no error. It means scoop has been successfully installed for us, or maybe you can take the help of the scoop. Take the help of the scoop, and you can say these are the command supported by the scoop. Okay, and they are very clear. If you see the commands, they are very clear. They say, obviously, I have a capability to connect to database server. You can use list database, list table. So I can go there to list the tables and databases. I have capability to export, import, and that's the main thing Hadoop. So it's scoop meant for. I can export database to SDFS or SDFS to databases. That's what I explained to you. Okay, so let me try one thing here. I'll go to scoop and say what I'm looking for. I just want to list the databases. So I want to see that you have successfully connected to MySQL or not. Okay, so if you want to connect MySQL, you guys know how can you connect. You can connect with MySQL command with your username, with your password, and by default they connect with your local database. So have an S means local host. So if you type this, if you don't type this, by default they connect to localhost. And let me give the password. So it's working fine. So if you want to connect database and see how many databases they have, you have to manually log in and manually run the command. So this is what we have done manually. But if you want to see, do the same thing with scoop. So how can we do? So again, we can pass to the scoop what my username, my password, my IP address, okay, where MySQL is working. How? So we can tell the scoop that I want to list the databases. So here they say this command is not complete. Can you just go and check the help for further help? So here guys, they give some further help. So they say if you want to connect, just give your username, give your password, okay, and and uh, and where is option? Connect. Tell me the URL of your MySQL or maybe Oracle. And guys, where are the MySQL running? Okay, this particular example, this is known as JDBC URL. Okay, just give me your JDBC URL. That's what they're talking about. Okay, so so I'm giving my username. That's called root. My password that I said LW@123 here. There's a password, guys, not for my Linux system. There's a password for my databases and connect. Okay, so where is the database running? So I'll tell my database running in this IP address. Okay, that's all. So here, guys, they give you some error. Okay, and error is they say the URL that you give doesn't support because guys, whenever you want to give any URL, okay, this is any JDBC URL. Okay, this is not the right way. Even though guys, you can make it password also secure. They give the warning. So instead of password, you can use capital P. So they ask the password always. Okay, so this was one warning come up, but here they say your URL is not right, because if you guys want to give any URL in JDBC, like if you give normal URL for web server, this is the URL. But this URL is not the web server URL. This is a MySQL URL. So this is the way we have to give. Okay, so this is the MySQL URL we have given. But technically, this URL is connected not with Python, not PHP. It is with Java. So technically, start with JDBC. So this is syntax, not in Scoop. If you want to use any of the JDBC URL or MySQL URL, this is the syntax we follow. JDBC colon your database name colon your IP address where MySQL is. Okay. Now if I hit enter, they ask the password. Okay. Again, different error come up. And now guys, this error change, and what this error say, that you are the Scoop. You're the Scoop and you built on the top of Java. Java. And if you want to connect to MySQL, you need JDBC that you don't have right now. So you don't have the JDBC driver. Okay, so here guys, they're looking for, otherwise without having the JDBC driver, it won't connect. And so in my case, I downloaded driver. I don't know this driver will support or not, but I have downloaded. So how to provide this driver? So if you want to provide this driver, you have to copy this driver somewhere where Scoop can read from. Okay, so guys, Scoop will read all the drivers from the folder called lib folder here. Okay, so all the driver they put here, they give you lots of pre drivers for something, for some other database or some other things, but we don't have a driver for Oracle. We don't have a driver for MySQL. So you have to copy the driver here. So Scoop will read all the driver for any kind of further connectivity from this folder. Okay, from this folder. So let me copy my MySQL driver. This is called MariaDB driver to a folder called Scoop. That's all. Why this folder? Because Scoop by default read the driver from here. Only challenge right now, I told you already, I don't know this version of driver support or not. If it is supported, my command will work. If it's not supported, then this will be your homework to download all this version of MariaDB drivers, check, and after think which of the version is supported, just provide this URL to everyone over here, so they will be benefited which version they supported. Okay, but this is the step we have to do. Now, let's see it's working or not. I've copied the driver here. So now let me run again. Again, guys, the same error come up. They say the driver is not supported. Okay, so again, guys, download some other version of driver and see this. But this is the steps you have to do. Finally, what this guy has done. So this guy has what we have done actually. I can say what we have done. So we have installed the Scoop successfully. There is no challenge. MySQL is successfully installed. You guys know how to set up the Hadoop. You guys can set up Hadoop very quickly in the local computer. And now how can you do export and import? Okay, so that will be very simple to do. Okay, if you want to do export and import, so very simple command to implement here. So Scoop, I will check the help, and here the command called export or maybe import. Let's say I want to import my data from table to HDFS. Okay, so option we have import. Okay, you can see the further help. Okay, so these are the commands they give to you, and here they say I want to uh, get the data from MySQL. Okay, so there are a lot of options they have, but but here uh, the main option would be the target table. Okay, so which table you want to import? Because guys, obviously from the database, we always import the table. And which in SDFS, which directory you want to copy? Because you guys know in SDFS, we always copy in some folder. That's all. That's the only thing we have to do. Okay, so the command would be in import that I have to tell my table name. So I have created, a student table I created in MySQL. So from this table, my target directory in HDFS, let's say my directory name is called my HDFS. So this table data will be imported to, okay, to this folder. And obviously for this, guys, you have to access this table. So for this, you have to log in to your database. So again, I have to first connect to my database. Okay, my database is there in JDBC, my SQL. Okay, this IP address, and where the table created. So I create this table in Linux World database. So I go to this database, MySQL, connect to my LW database. Inside this table, we have a student table. Okay, and obviously I have to log in. So my login name is root. My password I will give capital P, and that's all. Okay, so these are the guys options we have to buy. That's the only thing we have to do. Again, this will fail because uh, I don't have a proper driver support. Again, same error driver come up that you can try. Otherwise, after after this driver supported, you will see your data from the MySQL that we have created will be copied to HDFS. Even though I don't have Hadoop also, they will also fail with the after this with Hadoop. But if you have the Hadoop, they will copy over there. So guys, this is the way to export. Okay, similarly, if you want to import, just the reverse command we have to do. Instead of import, we can use the export. This is the reverse command you do. Again, you do go to help and see the options, what they support. So core part of the scoop is if you want to export and import your database or HDFS data from here and there, you can do it. So guys, take this as a homework. Please try as much as possible with all the versions and whatever version supported, provide to the link to your group heads. They will share to everyone. Okay. So today, guys, let's discuss till here. Let's discuss till here. We have given the explanation of a scoop and setup of the scoop, and try this. And we'll see in the next class with some more concepts. Okay. So this all. Any quick queries? You have, guys, you can ask me. Scoop is a different thing. Hive is a different thing. Tirumala. Scoop means if you want to transfer data from one computer to other. Sorry, database to HDFS or HDFS database, Scoop use. But if you want to do any analysis on the top of Hadoop with the help of SQL language, without writing MapReduce programming, okay, then the Hive tool user. So guys, I have already shared the step-by-step screenshot over here. So use this screenshot to to set up the scoop. Use case, I explained you, Nirali, already. I started with use case only in the company. We want to store everything in one centralized location. This is called data lake. Okay. Because till the time you don't store anything in SDFS, how can you do MapReduce programming? Okay. Or how to write Spark programming also. So it's a very common thing. Whatever database we have in database, data we have in the database, we first export to SDFS, then we can do further analytics on the top of this. So that's it, guys. See you in the next class. Bye.